Hello again. Most countries in Europe reserve the right to remove citizenship if it is felt necessary. France and Greece are such countries, and so too is Britain. Usually this step is only taken for treason, treachery and so on, and it only happens if the person concerned also has the right to live in another country. That is to say, nobody can be made stateless by having their citizenship removed. This kind of thing doesn't happen all that often anywhere, but when people take up arms against their own country and then fight against their country's army, then most nations think this is a bit much. Of course, within living memory, we hanged people for doing just that at the end of the Second World War. Nobody loves a traitor. 3 years ago, Britain removed the citizenship of a Bangladeshi girl who went off to join the Islamic State in Syria. She had been living in London and was only 15 at the time, but all the evidence is that she was a mad fundamentalist who would be a menace if she came back to Britain. It is claimed that she has changed now and is no longer a Muslim fanatic. She has lawyers arguing on her behalf, saying that she would behave nicely if we let her back in this country. The woman, as she now is called Shamima Begum, and may be seen in the thumbnail to this video. I give a link to a news item about the legal arguments in the description to this video. I'm guessing that most of us might be inclined to say that she has no business in this country and that she has obviously been consorting with our enemies. The difficulty is that Begum was actually born in this country, and depriving somebody of his or her citizenship who was born in and grew up in this country does rather cause one to raise the eyebrows a little. It sets rather a tricky precedent too, because she only held a British passport, although technically she is entitled to Bangladeshi citizenship because that's where her parents came from. But then again, the same thing applies to millions of ordinary people in this country. There are an awful lot of people in Britain who might be entitled, theoretically, to claim Irish nationality, for example, by virtue of the fact that one of their parents or even grandparents was born in that country. Would it be right to remove the citizenship of someone like that who was born and grew up in Britain? Every Jew in the country is entitled to Israeli citizenship. Does that mean it would be reasonable to deprive a Jew of citizenship? Somebody whose parents, grandparents and great-grandparents were all born in this country, merely because technically the person might be able to claim an Israeli passport in the future. On the one hand, there's no doubt that some British people went off to Syria and did some dreadful things there. They are, without doubt, traitors to the country. On the other hand, the possibilities once you start depriving people who were born in this country of their citizenship are not at all appetizing. I don't really know where I stand on this point. I think on balance, I would probably be inclined to let her come home, because when all's said and done, she was only a child when she made that disastrous decision to go off to Syria. I'm guessing that few of us would like to be held to account for things that we had done at that age. And she's now an adult and probably does genuinely regret her actions. It's a tricky case though, and I'm not at all sure that my view is the correct one.